What's up, everyone? Today was pretty productive. I kicked off a brand new Python package I've been thinking about, called SmartPaste, and then rounded things off with a couple of LeetCode problems. Let's dive in. This is day 26 of coding every day until I hit 1K subs. The main focus today was getting a new project, SmartPaste, off the ground, and solving 2 LeetCode questions. So the first thing I did was set up a new repository. The idea behind this is to create a super simple Python utility for pasting text reliably across different operating systems, especially useful for GUI automation scripts, where just simulating typing can fail with complex characters or emojis. This first commit just laid the groundwork and added the initial README description. I fleshed out the README a bit more, outlining the key features. The core ideas are cross-platform support using standard copy-paste shortcuts, saving and restoring whatever was on the clipboard before the paste, and adding a little delay option for slower apps. Basically, making automated pasting less flaky. For installation, the goal is to make it a standard pip install. Nothing fancy here, just the usual command. Here's a quick usage example I put in the README. You just import SmartPaste and call it like a function with the text you want to paste. I added a little delay in the example so you have time to switch focus to where you want the text pasted. The try except block is just good practice for handling potential issues. The underlying logic is pretty straightforward, as outlined here. It saves what's currently on the clipboard, puts the new text there, triggers the paste command, waits a tiny bit if needed, and then puts the original content back. And finally, I listed the dependencies, Pyperclip for clipboard handling, and PyAutoGUI for simulating the keyboard shortcuts, and added the standard MIT license. So that's the initial setup for SmartPaste done. Alright, after setting up the SmartPaste project, I switched gears to LeetCode. First up was problem 2176, count equal and divisible pairs in an array. Spoiler alert for the solution coming up. The goal is to find pairs of indices I and j, where I is less than j, such that the numbers at those indices are equal, nums equals nums, and the product of the indices ij is divisible by a given integer k. This solution uses a straightforward brute force approach with nested loops. It iterates through all possible pairs, I, j, where I less than j. For each pair, it checks if the 2 conditions are met, nums equals nums, and the product I times j modulo k is 0. This directly implements the problem statement, achieving O(n) squared, time complexity, and O(1) space complexity. Next, I tackled problem 2537. Count the number of good subarrays. This one felt a bit more involved. Again, spoiler alert incoming. A subarray is if it contains at least k pairs of indices, ij, within that subarray, where I less than j, and the elements are equal, arranged by cache.receiver. We need to count the total number of good subarrays. This solution utilizes a sliding window combined with a hash map, specifically Python's counter, to efficiently track element frequencies and count pairs within the window. As the window expands, right pointer, the pair count same, is updated. Once the window satisfies the k-pair condition, we know all subarrays ending at or after the current right index and starting at the current left index are good. This insight allows adding n right to the answer. The window then shrinks from the left, updating the counts. This approach achieves oxygen mononitride time complexity on average, as each element enters and leaves the window once, and oxygen mononitride space complexity in the worst case for the counter. And that wraps up day 26. Kicked off the SmartPaste project and worked through 2 LeetCode problems, a simpler brute force one and a more optimized sliding window solution. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments if you've tackled these LeetCode problems or if you have ideas for the SmartPaste tool. And as always, if you'd like to support the channel further, you can do so over at buymeaboba.com. The link is in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.